be a little bit short on today's quota.
It's all right, buddy. Just how many etch sketches did you get finished? Come on, buddy, how many?
I made, 85.
85? Puts you 915 off the pace.
What do you just say it? The worst toy maker in the world. I'm a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
No, buddy, you're not a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. We all just have different talents, that's all.
Seems like everyone else has the same talents except for me.
You have lots of talents. Special talents, in fact. Like, special talents.
You changed batteries in the smoke detector?
You sure did. Triple A's. In 6 months, you'll have to check them again. Won't you? Yeah, and you're the only baritone in the elf choir. You bring us down a whole octave.
In a good way.
See, buddy, you're not a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. You're just special.
And so, Buddy was sent where the special elves work.
This morning. It is Mother's Day, not Christmas time. Happy Mother's Day to all of you who are moms, those of you who may someday be a mom, and those of you who have mothers or have mothers. One thing that struck me about the clip with Elf is how Jack in the Boxes, even though Elf got a little upset, or Buddy the Elf was a little bit upset about him, when you have the Jack in the Box, and you crank him up, we all know pop goes the weasel, pop goes the weasel. Eventually, they pop out. And it evokes a response. We anticipate it, whether we're scared of it, we feel like smashing it, or sometimes kids, they enjoy it. Well, as I started thinking about Jack in the Boxes, I was thinking, you know, they evoke an emotion, they pop out, they have anticipation. So I thought, what about, how come there's only Jack in the Boxes? What about Jill's in the box? So I went online, and I'm looking to see if there are Jill in the boxes. And the closest thing I could find, this is Lulu in the box. There is no Jill in the box. And I Googled, so if somebody finds one, please let me know. And when I get Lulu in the box and I start cranking her, it's, you are my sunshine, you are my sunshine. But the thing about this with Lulu, she never pops out. It's like it's broken. As I was looking at my Lulu who was stuck in the box, I thought, you know what? I really think in terms of looking at women today in our society, that what we have are a lot of Jills in the box. And the difference between a Jack in the box and the Jill in the box is that Jack comes out. Now don't get me wrong, I think that Jill in the boxes have the right intention, because what we do, and I have my own box here this morning that I'm going to show you, I think Jills are busy doing the things that God has wired us to do, nurturing, taking care of our families, doing that, but the problem is we get so busy inside of our boxes that we fail to step outside and see the opportunities that God might have in store for us. So I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, why do I stay in my box? Why do Jills stay in their box? And so this morning I'm going to share with you what exactly is in Jill's box, and I'm going to expose my own box to you as well. And in our boxes, I think for the most part, we're pretty comfortable. Last week, Cal Elkin said something to me. He told me that I was dressed like a hippie. And I told him that was because I was wearing my most comfortable clothes. I think in our homes, we're comfortable. I know when we were in Africa, Lisa and I kept saying to each other, I just wish I could smell the smell of bleach, or my fabric softener, or see my pictures, because there's something comfortable about being there. Am I the only woman in this room who has a favorite pair of bib overalls? My husband would love to see me burn these things because I've had them since my first son was born. But I'm so comfortable in this. There's certain things that I wear, certain things that I eat, certain things that I look at in my house. You know, I know what books I have in my box. I have my favorite movies, one of Meet the Parents and Just My Luck. But when I want to be comfortable, I have these things in my home that I can look at. And if I lose this clicker one more time, I lost it once this morning and I just found it. The other thing that women, Jills, I think that we have in our box are resources. As you see here, we have a certain amount of money. You know, I've heard people say all the time, well, you know, I've only got so much money, and I've only got, oops, part of my box is stuck. I've only got so much time. You know, I think about this with the clock, and I think, you know, we always think we have more time. We act as if we have more time. But I think time is a resource. I've got to be here at this time. I've got to get my kid there at that time. I have to be at this time. We're so structured around time. And how much money we have. You know, I'm spending a lot of money to put my kids through college right now. I'm spending a lot of money, you know, for my son to be, I have a kid in baseball. I have 2 kids in baseball. I'm spending a lot of money for that, in uniforms and, you know, soccer. So I'm limited in terms of how much I have. So in my box, I know I have just this amount of money, and that's my resource. I think the third thing that's in the box for women is the fact that we have relationships. Another thing, though, with resources, I also think our career ties in with that. But women more than men, and I'm sorry, there is a distinct difference between men and women. I think women more than men identify themselves by their relationships. See, these are relationships I have with the kids in Fuel, because that's typically what I'm doing on a Sunday morning. I have friendships, I have relationships with them. I have pictures up here, I have pictures of my family, my kids, my nieces, my nephews, the Kolchaks, all different friends. I have relationships with them. But oftentimes I think when we're in our box, we become identified with those relationships. I don't think men, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I go somewhere, I'm Trish, I'm Matt's wife. I'm Trish, I'm Parker's mom. I'm Trish, I'm Kennedy's mom. I'm Trish, I don't hear men identifying themselves with their relationships like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think we were wired to be nurturing, to have relationships. But what happens is we get so comfortable inside of here that we fail to step out and see the opportunities, just maybe, that God has for us. You know, in 1 Thessalonians 2:7, Paul tells us, I mean, he's describing to the Thessalonians what it's like to be a woman. But we were gentle among you, like a mother caring for her children. Where did I just put my Bible? See, in this verse, I like to take it one step further, and I didn't put it in the PowerPoint, because I think how he expands on this is important. But we were gentle among you, like a mother caring for her little children. Listen to this. We loved you so much that we were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well. I think that's another distinct feature for women in our ability, is that not only do we share the gospel, not only do we share and we give, but we give of our lives our lives ourselves. And I think that's different between men and women. You know, and I'm not up here to say today to the men, you know what, just women have boxes, because I think men have boxes too, but I'll let Tim or Dave do a message about what's in the men's box someday, and we'll just focus here on the box, Jill's box. So again, I think Paul identified and shows some of the inherent features we have as women. So I question you today, is life in the box really what God intended for us? Because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying having a box or being in the box and what we do in the box is bad, because I think we're all really busy in there. But is life just contained within this box all that God has in store for us? I don't think so. You know, and I'm thinking about this. So we're thinking about being in the box. I think the first question that comes to my mind, okay, if I'm in this box, I'm taking care of my family, I'm taking care of this, I'm doing that, what's outside of the box? What am I going to encounter if I step outside of all this that's comfortable and safe, and I know what's in there, and I'm organized in there? What are you going to encounter when you step out?